Oxford or Cambridge?
Cambridge.
Why?
It's just better, I think.
Oh yeah.
Prettier, sunnier. I mean, arguably not. I'm sure Oxford is lovely.
So if you can introduce yourself, your name and which country you're from.
Hi, I'm Ted, and I'm from here in England, in London.
Oh, you're from London.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You are one of the most polite person I have met in London.
For the most polite.
Yes, because I was in London for a few days and they were not polite.
No one looks at you and no one smiles at you, I think, is how it works.
Come again?
No one looks at you and no one smiles at you is how London works, I think.
Yeah, even when you approach them, they are like, "I'm busy, go."
Yeah, exactly. It's a busy city, but Cambridge, I think, is a little bit more friendly, hopefully.
Okay, so what's your major in Cambridge? You are studying in Emmanuel College, right?
Yeah. I'm here at Emmanuel. I'm studying history.
Okay, so my very generic question is that why you are studying history, why not mathematics?
It's a good question. I think I had quite broad interests going through school. I quite liked doing languages, and I quite liked kind of doing bits of literature and kind of different aspects of things, and I thought history was perhaps the best way to be able to kind of keep that breadth in my studies, where some of my friends have gone into natural sciences or maths, and have kind of a very narrow focus. Also, I probably would struggle to do maths. I think it is slightly a different skill set.
So if you talk about history, you are into the history of French, US, or anything particular?
I've been doing a lot of British history because the course kind of encourages that. But this time I've been moving more into modern American history, which I've really enjoyed. There's some brilliant teachers here.
So with this degree, I mean, getting into history was your first preference, of course.
Yeah. History was what I wanted to do. I kind of took me a while to decide, but I went for history. Yeah.
So with this degree, I mean, what kind of jobs we are looking at after graduating?
It's a good question. There's a kind of a long-running joke that humanities students are going to end up unemployed, but hopefully that's not the case. At the moment, I quite like the idea of going into the Foreign Office, maybe in the civil service, working in diplomacy or international development, something like that. So something with a more international focus, and then maybe law is an outside contender.
So you are looking at a job or consultancy or what?
Yeah, so a job, preferably kind of working with embassies and kind of governments around the world, trying to interact with them. Kind of.
But you know, it's a very small segment. Very few people make it.
It is, yeah. It's quite competitive, and I met quite a few people here who kind of want to go into that field. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, I'll get in.
Yeah, if we get into the embassies, what kind of salaries we are looking at to start with?
I haven't looked that far into it, and I don't think that they're the most ridiculously well-paid jobs. But there are a few perks. I think you probably start on like mid 20,000 and then work your way up to more money, as with most jobs. But.
Okay. So what was the admission criteria for this course?
So I had to get A-star AA, but there was kind of a longer process of getting in before that, including like interviews and personal statements and things like that. Just trying to build up your portfolio as a student, as a prospective student.
So you were talking about your letter. So what was special about it?
I think I did read quite well on what I was talking about, and I think the main thing they look for is just genuine interest, and I am genuinely interested, and I kind of had read quite widely around a few subjects, which I then focused on in my personal statement. So I think I spoke with some level of authority on that.
Okay. And how many interviews were involved?
So I had 2 interviews, came up to Cambridge for a day or two. And one of them was more on my personal statement, so what I kind of said I knew a bit about, and then the other one was on a piece of reading I got given before, which was a bit more kind of ad lib, so it was a bit more touch and go. I didn't know as much about that, but I enjoyed it actually.
So, I mean, were there any questions they asked from the top of their head just to make you flustered?
Yeah, they do have a bit of a reputation for asking those kind of questions. In general, they were pretty reasonable. I got asked a weird question about how do you describe the history of sound, which is quite a weird question the more you think about it. But But I think generally I kind of got off not too bad. I
So what was the answer?
oh, you're putting me through it all over again. I won't bore you with that. I think I just kind of mumbled some random stuff.
Okay, no, what I'm trying to establish here is that for the interview, the most important thing is that you have a genuine interest in what you're saying, and you don't have to be extraordinary in the interview and answer everything correctly.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're not expecting you to kind of know everything. Obviously, you've just come out of school, and the kind of level of attention you'll get at school is quite different to what you'll have at university. So they just want genuine interest in someone who kind of thinks critically. I think especially for a degree like history.
And for the major of history, if we quantify, I know it varies with the students, how many hours each student have to work every day?
I mean, like you said, it does vary quite a lot. I'd say the average student works, I don't know, about 6 to 8 hours a day.
Other than lectures?
Other than lectures, yeah, just about. But obviously it varies, and there's kind of every week you kind of have a peak because you have an essay due every week.
And do you think this 8-week term is a good thing?
There's a lot of debate about that. I quite like it. I mean, it's very intense because things fly by very quickly. So your work is kind of packed into a short period. So it is very intense, but I think you kind of get stuck in because of that. There's no let up during term time, but then you get the holidays to kind of recuperate a bit.
Yeah, and so don't think it's good that you get a little bit of time with the lectures, and then you have a lot of time that you can study by yourself and then come back to the tutor and discuss?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's how history works as a degree, really. We don't have that many contact hours, so compared to a degree like maths, I don't have many lectures or supervisions, but it's kind of designed so that you have lots of time to read around, and then kind of actually think about what you want to say, and then come back to a supervision and discuss it with someone who is an expert in their field.
Okay, so with this workload, I'm assuming that students do get enough time to be themselves, have some fun, or have some girlfriends?
Yeah, exactly. One hopes. I mean, I think people actually throw themselves into quite a few things. One would think that you might, do a degree and then just kind of switch off. But it's weird how many people, do like university level sport or drama or things like that. So I think the whole kind of flavour of Cambridge is quite intense because everyone just throws themselves into all their different interests.
Okay, so I was in Oxford yesterday, and I was told that if you perform well in your undergrad degree, after 2 years of time you get your master's degree for free. Is it true here as well?
Yeah, it's a bit suspect, but basically if you pass a degree, you get a free master's by virtue of going to Oxbridge, which is an interesting aspect of elitism, but I'll take it nonetheless.
Elitism, but it's not here in Cambridge?
No, so you do get a master's. After 5 years after you graduate, you automatically get upgraded to a master's if you...
In Cambridge as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the requirements of getting upgraded?
I don't know. I imagine you have to at least pass your degree, possibly get a 2-1 or something.
What is 2-1?
So 2-1, so the degrees are ranked by, so first is the highest, and about some people get that, then 2-1, and then 2-2, and then a third.
If you put in percentage, how much?
So about 20% of students get firsts. I'd say about 40-50% get 2-1s.
No, what I mean is that if I have 80% approximately, then I will get this.
Yeah, exactly. So 70 out of 100 is the boundary for a first, pretty much for me at least.
And you think students? How many students you mentioned get this out of 100?
Out of 100, about 20, 15.
Okay, so very few. Okay, so one other requirement of getting this degree, this upgradation, is that you should not be wanted in any criminal case.
I don't know about that, but I wouldn't be surprised. There's probably some kind
And you should not be owing any money to the government institutes, and most interestingly, you should not be divorced.
I haven't really looked into it too much.
No, I actually talked with one of the staff members at Oxford, and he told me this.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I hope I won't end up in prison or anything like that. So we'll see.
Yeah. And my answer was, with the workload of Oxford and Cambridge, there is no way you are going to get married on time, so you're not getting divorced anyways.
No way.
Oxford or Cambridge?
Cambridge.
Why?
It's just better, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Prettier, sunnier. I mean, arguably not. I'm sure Oxford is lovely. but I can only speak from my experience, and Cambridge has been a delight to attend.
Well, I can testify the same about being prettier. What about the entertainment? Is it more lit as compared to Oxford?
I don't think Cambridge is known for its nightlife. I think, to be fair, if you're going for a nightlife, I think Oxford is slightly more buzzing. It's a bigger city. But to be honest, I think there's more than enough to keep you interested at either university.
So let's conclude this interview by asking you this: that if let's assume that you are made the master of this college, I assume this is the name of the head of the college, right? Other than the principal or dean, it's the master. So if you are made the master of this institute for a day or a week, and you have unlimited resources, financial and manpower, what is one change that you will definitely want to bring in?
That's such a brilliant question. It's quite scary. Okay, at the moment, there's a swimming pool over there, which is only open in summer. But I wish it was open 24/7, and you could just go in whenever.
In the winter as well.
In the winter, it did in the winter as well, but especially on days like this in the spring.
Okay, perfect. That's it.
That's it.
That's the absolute pleasure talking with you. Do you want me to cover anything else or ask you anything else? Or
That's it. Thank you.
I think we covered majority of it, and thank you so much. God bless
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank